Hello everyone, welcome back. Another Guild Wars 2 engineer video. I hope you're all good and you're all well and you're having a good day. Some music now as well, look at that. Copyright free, lovely job. So what is it today we're doing? It's a scrapper build, another scrapper build. With the quickness changes and everything else. I just played this for a game and I was like, hey, we actually made this build a while back and now there's quickness and it could be even better, and I just won a game. So I was like, oh, let's do this. Let's slap this out, see what you think. Grenades Hollowsmith is a thing, obviously, but grenade scrapper is also a thing. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also check this out early on Patreon if you would like to. This is going out a little bit earlier, about a day earlier, but a ton of videos and different bits and bobs kind of go out there as well. That's the $5 tier on Patreon as well. So if you do want to support the channel, that's massively appreciated. Otherwise, just chuck a like, a comment, or whatever you want down below. Also, chuck a little subscription as well. That'd be lovely. So what we've got here, we've got the hammer. This is Jebronica, the bald, awesome lady. And she's rocking the hammer with a ton of gyros as well as the grenade kit. So what have we got here? Alchemy, explosives, and scrapper. But we're going to start off with the gear and whatnot. At the moment, I've got Rune of Leadership. This is helping with boon duration, which is obviously with quickness is going to give us a little bit more quickness, going to give us a little bit more of those awesome boons that we do get, a little tiny bit more stability. It's not a massive amount, okay? It's not a massive amount, but it's a little bit more, okay? A little bit of defense as well through the use of Sneak Gyro. We'll get it off every minute, pretty much use it off cooldown, to be honest, because you get quickness with it, and obviously, you know, saving allies and everything else, you're often using it pretty much off cooldown. So, you know, you're able to get like 14 of those off, depending on how long the game goes. Obviously, and it's really good to pop early game, and it does help remove those conditions as well as you know, supporting yourself and allies, so that's useful. This amulet really is interchangeable. It really just depends about what you're going versus. You know, use Marauder if you're going versus a Condi heavy comp, you use Demolisher if you're going versus a power heavy comp, and if you are feeling extra brave, go for the full Berserker amulet and you will do ridiculous damage. So a ton of you are probably thinking, let's do that. Hammer, obviously, boom. Sigil of Purging, so one on hit, remove a condition. This could be cleansing for your swap, obviously, as well, so you can pick between the two. And obviously Sigil of Energy, just remember that, you know, the difference, that's on hit, you remove a condition, so you want to make sure you're aware when that's popping up for you. And when you want to be, you know, just be careful, that's all I'm saying. Sigil of Energy, obviously, your standard energy rejuvenation. That's obviously going to be good for different things, which we're going to go through. We've also got gyros wise. We've got med gyro, we've got grenade kit, we've got bulwark, and obviously blast gyro, as well as sneak gyro. Now, the reason we use this is for extra quickness. It's also got stun break as well, which is very good. And bulwark gyro is going to give us the defense field. Now, if you are going versus a Condi heavy comp, I would say take, instead of bulwark gyro, take purge, or even take out blast gyro, take a little bit of super speed out of your build and quickness, and just go for the extra safety there. You do less damage and less knockback, but you will still have a little bit more survivability. This build is very damage oriented, okay? Survivability wise, it is pretty damn good as well. You've got a ton of block coming out from shock shield, as well as giving you the vulnerability stacking. You've obviously got your rocket charge where you evade for a bit. You've obviously got electro whirl, which is going to help you against those projectiles, reflecting them back to opponents. You've obviously got defense field as well, which gives you stab. It also does give you that that barrier which blocks missiles as well, which is very good. You've got reconstruction field, which is also going to give you super speed as well. And using rocket charge through that is going to be very lovely indeed. So, you know, you've got a lot of utility to help you survive, to give you quickness, to do a ton of extra damage in a short period of time, and some nice defense. So it's kind of got a lot, this build, in all honesty. Problem in Guild Wars 2 is a lot of these damage builds do have a lot of utility for survival. And that I would expect in the future is probably going to be nerfed a little tiny bits here and there. But for now, this exists, and that's why we create builds all the time, so we can, you know, theory craft what's best and what's fun to play and everything else. So let's go over the traits very quickly. Alchemy, I'm not going to go through it too much here. It's really just, this can change just depending. I've kind of gone between some different traits here. This is, I don't know why it's on this actually, but the standard is just, you know, protection injection, elixir E, you know, gain barrier protection. Gonna give a tiny little bit more protection there because of your extra boon duration. Convert conditions into boons, you know, get protection. This line is always going to be in most of your builds. Here I would say probably going for Iron Blooded might be more useful, because your condition cleansing is not a massive amount unless you got Purge Gyro. Maybe slap that in there. This is up to you here, okay, because you are cleansing some conditions. Sorry, not through this, but you're cleansing conditions, you know, through the different traits in your build. So really it's up to you. Depends what utilities you're taking. It really does, because obviously, you know, you are with Sneak Gyro, you're removing some conditions as well. So it's really up to you. I've been using this, I've been switching between. I couldn't tell you how well I've been doing on both, because I've won the last couple of games that I've played with this build, and I haven't felt too pressured changing it between both. So really, let me know which you think is, or feel is more useful. Fury of Purpose is just overpowered anyway, especially in World v World, as we know. Okay, or was, I don't know about now. Explosives is big, obviously, because of explosive entrance. So your first attack when entering combat explodes, dealing damage to nearby foes. This ability refreshes after a dodge roll. So having your dodge, having that energy sigil is important, because it's going to help you rejuvenate your dodge, so you can dodge more and you can blind more. Then we've gone for lesser grenade barrage, so increases the throw velocity and blast radius of grenades. Using a heal skill cost lesser grenade barrage. You're using this a lot, hell of a lot actually. So even, just make sure you're close quarters when that pops off, because remember, it does drop them kind of at your feet. Explosions cause vulnerability. That's kind of given there. Explosive entrance grants barrier, gain vitality based on the percentage of your power. Now, you could obviously go even heavier. So if you went into, so how much health we got now? 16,500. So if you go for Berserkers here, you actually increase your HP. Okay, but you don't have any toughness. So your HP is gonna, so let's go and have a look at Marauder, 21k. You know, this is all about the toughness here. So that power is gonna give you a significant buff to your vitality, but at the end of the day, you know, it's 10%. But yeah, that's pretty important to have. Barrier is gonna help you obviously survive. What's wrong with that? That's good. Shape charge, deal increased strike damage for each stack of vulnerability. Extra damage is good. And then flashbang. Don't forget as well, when you want to pull off a ton of bursts, especially if you've got grenade barrage up, you want to get shock shield off if you possibly can, because that's 10 stacks of vulnerability. And piled up with this, you know, it's an extra 5% damage with just those 10 stacks and your grenades. So this combo of shock shield first, and obviously grenade barrage is going to be beautiful, as well as just, you know, spamming out grenades. And when you got quickness, you're doing it a lot quicker as well, so you're able to build up vulnerability really quick. You can't tell on the dummies like your damage too well, but when you're in a fight, my god, you can blow people up. Flashbang, so explosive entrance inflicts blindness when it hits. Additionally, it dazes foes above the health threshold. There is no ICD on this. It is just, you know, as much as you can dodge basically, and then get the blind and the daze. So it's pretty damn nice. This is obviously explosive entrance. Damn. It's gonna be, it's so fun. I really like that explosives is like this. I don't know whether or not it's too much or too powerful, but yeah, you know. And the reason I say the dodge is because it refreshes after your dodge. So as long as you got dodge up, like, you know, you're gonna have this. Dodge is very defensive for us. Obviously it's defensive for everyone, but even more so for us. And Scrapper with explosives line. Scrapper, obviously you've got function gyro. You can see the super speed is there as well. But this is an important one. So while abilities have an increased area of effect and grant super speed to nearby allies on their final pulse, your own function gyro also grants super speed to allies when cast. So let me just pop this off. Doesn't give it to us though. And you're going to get it at the end. This caps out the super speed at 10 seconds. Yeah, there you go. Maximum duration actually does tell you. So don't want to spam these off too much. So if you look at this one, it gives you 3 seconds. You can spam 3 off at the same time and you're going to get maximum. You're going to get it stacked up to 10 seconds. So, but just be careful. You just don't spam all of your super speed sources because you're just going to rinse some chance of getting that super speed. And obviously, you know, the uptime probably of your quickness as well. It shouldn't affect your uptime on quickness. Actually, that's a lie. Look how much quickness you got there. Of course it won't. It will just pop off when that's gone. But it will. The maximum, the amount of super speed you have, it will affect that. And you want to have more super speed because the moment in this build, I don't have any movement speed. Because of choosing to go with leadership. So here you could go for, you know, speed runes or whatever runes will help you to go faster. Let's have a look at speed for a sec. So you can go for speed. There you go. So swiftness, duration, increased movement speed. That's for when you get, you know, speed off other people. But, you know, speed, I mean swiftness. But you're going to be going for links, obviously, probably more than anything, or traveler. Probably traveler would actually be the best because, you know, condition damage there, not that useful. Traveler actually probably really, really good, but like, you know, there's that +5 condi duration. You know, extra vulnerability, that could be quite good. So, you know, again, really up to you. I'm kind of doing this quite quickly because I just started school again. I've got more assignments to do. So if I'm talking about stuff and I'm going a bit quick, that could be why. But there you go. These are one edit, push these out. I love doing these. Again, rune choice up to you. If you feel like you need more speed to get around the map and the super speed isn't something you want to keep using, like you don't want to use bulwark gyro to get some speed moving out into the map and you want to have that cooldown for when you get into a fight, cool, fair enough. That's all right, okay? I use super speed to get around the map. Because you don't really have blasts to like really help you to get to places to use, like in the flamethrower build and everything else. I got that flamethrower too to always blast that to give me some super speed. You can use this, of course, which is a combo field. You can use that at the beginning and it's a low cooldown as well. So you can use that to get around. That is totally doable as well. So rest of the traits, we were in Scrapper. There you go. So bigger wells as well. So you've got more of a blast radius for your blast gyro. Also able to get up a significant amount of might as well. So if you use this, you can see I get up to like 7 stacks I had there. And then the last blast is 11. Okay. So that's pretty nice. So you got a little bit of boon duration in this build. Don't forget, obviously, you're going to be you want to use your rocket charge combo as well with that. Pardon me. You can tell I'm been talking a lot. I've been in school, been streaming. Don't forget to check out the stream, of course, as well. Lovely, do it. Yeah, you can see the might stacks going up. They peaked at 14 for like a second, but it is going to be about 11 there, and then just kind of wears off after a while. You know, with all the might that's coming out elsewhere, you'll probably be at around 15 stacks, I'd say 16 stacks in fights if you're in a team fight or 2v2s, and then, you know, less if you're 1v1ing. But fun times. It gives you that extra damage. Quickness as well is going to help, as well as just, you know, the fact that you've got a high damage kind of build, in all honesty, and you're making sure you're putting those vulnerability stacks on, making sure you're getting all of this loveliness out. And yeah, it's a fun build. I'm genuinely enjoying this build. It doesn't take long to kill people. People who I am really having a great time versus are rangers, warriors now as well. People that try and stun lock you down, they can't take the pressure that you're dealing out, so they actually have to disengage. So if you're like where I've been playing Condition Necro, I've got escapes, but they can pin me down pretty well and take me out quite quick. Whereas on this build, I'm finding that I've got a lot more defense, and this blast gyro clears people out as well because they know it's going to knock them back and they haven't got much stability. So a lot of the time they're using their blocks. I'm allowed to put out a lot of kind of counter pressure in this build, which is pretty nice. So what else have we got here? We've got, of course, using a heal skill grants super speed and a radius. Again, super speed is really, really essential because of this trait, kinetic accelerators. Now, this is a quickness oriented build for your damage. This is one of the main things about this build that is so important. So making sure you're using those gyros very, very often, as well as your reconstruction field, is very, very important. And that reconstruction field is giving you 7 seconds of super speed as well, don't forget. So it's like good movement, solid movement. So you can pretty much use this off cooldown most of the time. Make sure you're, doubling up with rocket charge to give you the extra heals as well. Pretty damn lovely. Okay, pretty damn lovely. It gives you a lot of super speed as well, to be honest. And the main thing about this again is, so deal increased strike damage while you have stability, swiftness, or super speed. This is why you want to always have super speed up, okay? Because that is going to be doing extra damage per boon for you as well, 5%. So getting those extra boons, you're going to have stability. You're going to have, you might have stability from here. You might have might from here. You might have, regeneration and everything else that's coming up onto you from other places, other sources. So, it might depend what, you might actually want to go for some kind of boon that's going to give you maybe more might, like fresh boons and whatnot as well. So it really depends on what you want to go for. There's a lot of versatility with this build. I feel like you could probably play it your own way as well. And I'd be very interested to see what you guys would come up with, to be honest. So for a quick look again, I'm excited. It's fun to play. So a percentage of the strike damage you deal is converted into barrier. Your vitality is reduced. So your vitality is reduced by 180. That's okay. But your damage output, is going to be converted to barrier. So it's a fair trade-off, I feel, and the barrier can become quite nice, and it helps you in a lot of situations. And again, obviously, when you grant super speed to a target, also grant quickness. So this is not to just targets, this is to ourselves as well. So we're helping our team get a ton more damage off. So really, the high benefit of this build is in team fights, and it is in skirmishes. You can 1v1 in this build, but you will not be helping. You are fairly supportive in this build as well. It's almost like I would almost consider this an off support build to a degree, even though it's got a ton of damage. Because I was playing with someone earlier who was playing something similar, and I was playing a Necro and I had Lich, and he was giving me quickness, and I was blasting out those, those quickness shots. So this would be a good solid build to duo with a friend, like someone who's really high damage, or even like a support, to be fair, so they can pump out that support a little bit quicker, because you're giving quickness to other people, and it's a significant amount when you like lump everything together. If I spam everything off there, I mean, it won't come up now, but that's like, 15, 20 seconds almost of quickness, maybe a little bit less than that, sorry, 15 seconds. But then, you've got, I didn't use that gyro, I didn't use this, and, you can even pop that off to give yourself a little bit more quickness as well. And you can see, look, I've got it back again. Quickness uptime is pretty ridiculous. And then, you can see my cooldowns have already come back. And you're not obviously going to be using these abilities all of the time. Do you see how much barrier I got just from using my heal? That was actually pretty crazy. That was about 2k. But in all honesty, a lot of the time you probably could, because you're always more often than not, you're always going to be taking damage. More often than not, if you're going to be in a combat with someone, you're going to be using blast gyro cooldown, unless they've got stability. But this is, this is pulsing, it's still going. You can see when this comes into the middle, that's when they get knocked back, when the blast happens. Okay. So it's like, they've got to pop their stability off within that time. And you're going to still have this quickness and the speed and everything else you need to get around the map to knock people back, to do extra damage and everything else that you want to do to be successful in your damage orientation career as a amazing grenade, scrapper, quickness, awesome person. I don't know. Otherwise, that's it, people. Enjoy. Go and check it out. I will stick some gameplay up hopefully quite soon. I would use Sneak Gyro if I were you. You can use Mortar Kit if you really, really want to. It does really good solid long range damage as well, but I use this for defense as well as offense, to be honest, and it's really nice to go into the map with. Enjoy the build, take it easy. I hope I explained everything. I know it might have been quick, still 20 minutes, damn. Oh well. Again, you can change the rune, you can change this depending on what your verse is, who your verse is. Always think about that, you know. It's not always the build, it's not always going to be the build you 100% use every time. Think about who your verse is. You know, if your verse is Condi specs, go for vitality over toughness. If your verse is power specs, go for a little bit of toughness. If you're just feeling a bit, you know, rock and roll, go for berserker and just, you know, accept that you may go down quite quickly. Change up the rune if you really want to. That is up to you. Just wondering. Probably not something like might, strength. You know, it really depends. If you're going for like the flamethrower build in this combination without explosives, rune of strength is really nice because you're getting a ton of might. There is a flamethrower alternative, which I have done in the past, but it's a bit changed now. So I will probably put that out soon as well. But have fun, you know, go with explosives, go with scrapper, go with alchemy, give it a bash, go with that combo, and kind of mix it up and see how well it plays for you. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JebroUnity. Streaming over there. Podcast is going amazingly well. We're getting hype and excited for End of Dragons announcement as well, which is on the 27th of July. So if you're going to be around for that, make sure you check out the stream. We'll be watching that and see what we get for engineer and the other classes, at least spec wise. People, see you soon. Take care and be safe.